to tell you that a lot of my confidence has come from this group, and you can have that too. I want to start with a story. I got stuck on the FDA robocall list for chicken and cattle farmers in November, and it lasted for 3 months. And it would interrupt my business calls, and the number would come across and I would say, oh no, here it is again. So after a few times of that, what I did was call them back and say, hi, what's going on here? I don't know who you are. I'm Jennifer Snyder. This is my phone number. Well, they looked at it and said, well, we don't know why you got on our list. How did that happen? And I said, I'm so sorry. I really don't know, and it is disruptive. Would you remove me? Well, they said, oh yes, Mrs. Snyder. But I recognized it as an opportunity, and that's what everyone in this room should be doing. It was an opportunity for me to ask Miss Jeannie, who answered the phone call, how may I pray for you? And turn it around. Because most CSRs, customer service representatives, are hit with 98% negativity on every phone call. Can't we be the different ones? It makes all the difference. And so I said, well, may I say a blessing over you right now? It's very innocuous to say, may I say a blessing? Or, hey, let me pray for you. That's what I tend to do, is I grab people. But I'm encouraging you, may I pray a blessing over you? Say that, and watch what happens on your CSR calls that make you crazy sometimes. So I prayed with her, and she said, oh, thank you so much. I said, well, may I talk to the next person in line from you, your boss? Oh, yes, Mrs. Snyder. So I got to talk to Clarice, and the same thing happened. And I said, may I pray a blessing over you? Oh, yes, Mrs. Snyder. We're really working hard to resolve your problem. Well, then, thank you. I would love to pray a blessing over you. So I did. And then I got sent to Margie. Margie, third tier up, was the reason the Lord had me on that phone call. When I asked Margie how I could pray for her, she said, oh, I had to put my dog down last week, and he'd been with me for 16 years, and a very close friend has cancer. I said, well, Margie, you're the reason that God put me on this phone call. May I pray over you? Oh, yes, I would appreciate that. So Margie at the FDA let me pray over her. And as I prayed, a calm came over the call. I could just feel her spirit testifying to peace. And after we said amen, I said, you know, there's an incredible book. It's a little tiny booklet you should get for your friends. And any friends or family members of anyone you know struggling with cancer, get this booklet by John Piper. It's called Don't Waste Your Cancer. And it works for any major health problem. I cannot say enough good things about it. It's $3.50 on Amazon, but you can get it for free as a PDF when you look up Don't Waste Your Cancer by John Piper. So one thing is encourage people. What have you got to lose? Especially on a CSR call, you're never going to see these people. You're probably never going to ever meet these people. The FDA that I was calling is located in Little Rock, Arkansas. I've never been to Arkansas. The second thing that I want you to know for encouraging people is build your LinkedIn. Build it high and build it strong and reach higher than you think you could. I connected with Dan Cathy of Chick-fil-A in the fall. It took him 2 months to respond to my request, but when he did, I turned it back around and said, Mr. Cathy, I'm trying to build my business, People Connector, as your dad, Truett Cathy, built Chick-fil-A. I want those kind of values in my company. Is there any resource or advice you could give me? Well, it took him another 3 months to respond, but this is how he did it. His personal assistant called me and asked if Mr. Cathy could send me a book. And I said, what? Yes. A week later, not only 1 book, but 4 books arrived in the mail, and a personal note from Mr. Dan Cathy himself. Thank you, Lord, for LinkedIn. Utilize your LinkedIn. And for every far reach that you make, Turn around and encourage 3 people behind you and watch what starts happening when you encourage people. The third note on encouragement, make sure that you handwrite thank you notes. Ladies and gentlemen, it's 2019. Everyone's using email. When you receive something handwritten in the mail, you feel like the Lord just put gold in your mailbox. Do that and watch what happens there as well. Because when you write that out, and for me, writing is like slitting my wrist and putting blood out on the paper. I get tired of handwriting, and I don't write well. My handwriting's terrible. But handwritten notes matter, don't they, Peter?
Yes.
So I want to close with a song after these 3 points of encouragement, and I want to encourage you to pass it on, okay? And some of you may recognize this from camp days. Pass it on. It only takes a spark to get a fire going, and soon all those around can warm up in its glowing. That's how it is with God's love. Once you've experienced it, you want to sing, you want to spread His love to pass it on. If you know this, sing it. What a wondrous time is spring, when all the trees are budding. The birds begin to sing, the flowers start their blooming. That's how it is with God's love. Once you've experienced it, you want to sing. It's fresh like spring. You want to pass it on. I wish for you, my friends, this happiness that I found. You can depend on Him. It matters not where you're bound. I'll shout it from the mountaintop. I want my world to know. You want to know the Lord of love has come to me. I want to pass